Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on it's Friday the 6th of March. So, what's the theme today then? Non-farm payrolls, of course, coming in at 1:30 this afternoon. We do have apparently the OPEC meeting is continuing, which may see a bit of volatility in oil, but I think, as I say, the key focus is the Canadian and US jobs reports later. So, aside of that, what's the theme? The other theme is dollar weakness going through these markets. Apart from dollar, Canadian dollar, and US dollar weakness, I should say. Other markets seem reasonably upbeat a little bit in terms of currencies, at least. Okay, so looking at the euro dollar, and well, strong push up, shove up continuation yesterday. It broke through its some trend lines I'd drawn in it yesterday. Across the highs here, broken through that and continue to shove its way up. Today it's in this sort of wedge pattern at the moment, trying to break through the top surface of that. We'll see how it runs, if it can do that post 8 o'clock. I may be interested in alongside up towards that R1 there at 12.72. Very aware that price action could slow down as we go through the morning, as we move towards non-farms. We'll just see how things run this morning, really. A break to the low side, if this was to change tact, well, really is the daily pivot is below, and then there's a sort of the key moving averages, 50 MA, etc. But as it stands, it's holding up okay, the euro at this stage. Okay, the pound. Another one that's turned the corner a little bit. It's just running out. Just put this trend line across the highs here. Just running back into that sort of level now. If it breaks through, it has got, well, it's got the daily 100, the daily 50, both sort of within a smidgen of breaking through. So it may provide a bit of resistance. We saw previously that 50 holding things back. Maybe this time it's time to for a breakthrough. We'll see as we go through this morning, but solid sort of move up there last day or so. And well, coming to this time frame, the only thing actually I can see, I think it might have been happening, and is you've got price heading up there, but the strength of the move is not so convincing. So need to just be wary of this. I mean, I would be looking maybe a lower trend line across here. If it did roll over this morning, starts heading down, well, maybe it'll give us a bit of a scalpy trade back to the daily pivot, maybe a bit more. In fact, let's just check that euro. I'm sure that was doing a similar thing when I was looking at it earlier. As sort of, there was a bit of softening as we were coming up this sort of move here. Lower strength there, just softening off a little bit. But just maybe a consolidation sort of phase of a market, which then continues to push up. So can't read too much into it, but there's the potential for that downside. Dollar yen, well, the yen is continue to see quite a bit of money flow as the dollar is sort of yielding. Looking across here, 4 hours again, solid movements here, really. Again, with this last sort of shove down here, you're seeing a divergence running through, but again, it's through the sort of, in terms of overall volumes, they're sort of certainly lower than they are through the London European session. So we'll see how this what happens here, but there is that divergence, so just need to watch it. But for now, it seems that it's certainly risk off, and the dollar seems to be a bit off as well at this stage. Aussie dollar, I'm smiling to myself because that was actually a heading on something my broker sent me this morning. Risk off, dollar off, made me laugh. Anyway, Aussie dollar, I'm off. Aussie dollar dailies here. Well, it's held up. It's consolidated. It hasn't pushed through the same way as the euro. The pound have been pushing up further and further over the last couple of days. This is a bit more consolidated, quite rightly so in real terms. It is a softer of the currencies. It's maybe just consolidating, ready for a shove up there, but not totally convinced by it at all. And the way it's chopping along here, perhaps I should just leave that alone. And just have a quick look at the Canadian dollar, which I'm going to leave alone as well. If you come out to the dailies, you'll see that it was giving up even more yesterday. The dollar was still stretching against the Canadian dollar, whereas other currencies were strengthening against the US dollar. This one was weakening. So side of that, really, you just see it's this 4-hourly chart. As I mentioned this a few days ago, and maybe even yesterday, the amount of chop that we're seeing bar after bar, side by side, very difficult to do too much. Maybe you could range trade it or something, but even then the ranges, if you see, the ranges are sort of switching a little bit, not making it the easiest one. I was having a quick look at the euro yen. I'm just looking at alternatives here when you sort of trading through or got some potential news. The yen's with the risk got back off, and we're seeing money running into the yen. It's sort of even against this euro, it's making a bit of headway. It's not massively, but certainly on this sort of last couple of days, it's been slightly the strongest. Setup wise, that is not a lot there for me at the moment. It's into its daily S1 at the moment. If anything, if the yen was to start rallying and the euro started picking up, a break of this trend line back to the daily pivot may be an option, but don't ever like that. I'd prefer to be looking at the euro, the pound. There you go. The euro started to pitch out here. Need a little retrace now, maybe to buy into. See if we can push that up to the R1. Okay, that's pretty much it for me. So just enjoy non-farm payrolls later. Bye for now.